I saw it on the Fix-It app, the new,
Oh.
and I was like, wait, this looks different now than the A with the lamppost.
Easy to look hard like that.
Yeah. Yeah, so we can go and get started.
Okay. I will call this meeting of the Board of Zoning Adjustment for March 5th, 2025 to order.
Will Faulkner, Ross Rollins, Amy Soros,
Here.
Letitia Smith, Marty Heffron,
Here.
Mary Boyd,
Here.
Charles Danbury Jr.
Present.
Okay. We can have approval of the minutes from our February 5th meeting. If I have a motion to approve those minutes as presented.
Motion.
Marty, do I have a second?
Yes, second.
Oh, and Charles. All in favor? Oh, sorry, roll call. That's taking your job.
Will Faulkner.
Yeah, just call the people who are here.
Oh,
Yeah.
why is
Yeah,
it?
yeah, you're good, you're good.
Amy Soros,
Yes.
Marty Heffron.
Yes.
Mary Boyd,
Yes.
Charles Danbury Jr.
Yes.
I'm going to read an opening statement to start our meeting. Any persons aggrieved by any decision of the board may within 15 days after such decision appeal to the circuit court having jurisdiction according to section 908.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Y'all need to first officially appoint you as a temporary chairperson to run the meeting.
Oh, I thought we would do that after I read the statement. Okay.
No,
Do
before
it.
we conduct business.
Okay.
So we just need a motion from somebody in a second.
And then also the supernumeraries will be voting. Does that need to go in the same motion?
No, it just, because we need them to make a quorum.
Okay.
Yeah, we just need somebody to make a motion in a second to have you as temporary
Okay.
chairman.
All right, I make a motion to elect Amy Soros as the temporary chair.
I second that.
Amy Soros,
Yes.
Marty Heffron.
Yes.
Mary Boyd,
Yes.
Charles Danbury Jr.
Yes.
Now we're good.
Okay, now I'm good. Oh, now I'll start all over again. Any persons aggrieved by any decision of the board may within 15 days after such decision appeal to the circuit court having jurisdiction according to section 908.02 of the zoning ordinance of the city of Auburn, Alabama. The board consists of 5 regular members and 2 supernumeraries. The supernumeraries participate in all discussions but only vote when necessary to assure 4 voting members and have a board consisting of 5 members when possible. All decisions are made with a roll call vote, and concurring vote of 4 members is required to approve an application for a variance. Okay, so moving to new business, we have our case BZ 2025-002 for the Preserve Phase 6, requesting a variance of 7 feet to the required 25-foot front street setback to allow a setback of 18 feet.
Hello everyone. This is a request for variance of 7 feet to the required 25 feet front or street setback to allow a setback of 18 feet. And the location is the preserved subdivision. Applicant is H. Kenneth White Jr., Flowers and White Engineering LLC. Can you go to the next slide? And this shows the general location of the site. It's mostly surrounded by DDH, that's single family residential, and undeveloped land. The subject properties are in these 2 sections, A and B. I've highlighted them just to make sure that, so this is the whole final plat that was approved, and these are the 2 areas under concern. So zooming into those areas, as you can see, there are 2 easements. One is the 100 feet Alabama power easement, and the other one is the 40 feet Tallapoosa River Electric Co-op easement. Now, going back to the MDP that was approved, here if you see, it shows the 100 feet Alabama River, the Alabama Electric easement, but doesn't show the Tallapoosa River, the 40 feet easement. So this is what was approved earlier, and when we approved it, We weren't aware of the 40-feet easement that existed.
Were or were not?
We were not.
Were not, okay.
Yeah, so we were made aware to that by the applicant very recently when applying for the BZA variance.
Okay.
And it was also present in the final plat of the preserve that was approved by us without the variance.
Can you say that last part again?
Yeah, like the final plat of the preserve plat 6, of the preserve phase 6, plat number 1, so this was approved without the variance. And this is an
Okay.
approved plat, so it's not that anything was wrong in it. And the easement was shown in this. After this, the application for variance was done, and just going into the slides, this is one of the lots from a previous phase which has similar situations, and this is the site plan that was approved. Now, comparing the area, the one at the right is an approved site plan and the building already exists. It has a square footage of 2,208 square feet. This didn't require any variance. The ones that are on the left, lot 146 and lot 106, are two of the lots that are under variance in the current situation that they have requested for. Now, they have a buildable area of 3,705 square feet and 3,510 square feet, which is much higher than the building that has already been built.
Okay.
Now, as the trek easement existed in 2005, the 40-feet easement has existed since 2005, and these are the deeds that says so. And the owners bought the property knowingly, and there has been no change to the setback regulation since then. The hardship in this case is considered to be self-created, and the granting of the variance is not needed for the reasonable use of the land, as a single-family residence can be constructed in the currently available buildable area, and no site plans have been submitted to justify the application for variance. And I would be happy to answer any more questions. And there were some comments made by the applicant that there were topographical barriers, but on visitations to the site, no such topographical barriers were found. Thank you.
Is there a reason why it was on one plat but not on the other, like on the final, like, did we just miss it, or like, the MDP, why was not on the MDP but then was on the final plat?
So the 40-feet trek easement is not something that we have the records for,
Okay,
that the property owner should have had the record for that
okay,
when they got the property. So when we approved the lot, we just knew about the 100-feet Alabama power easement that I think we have information about, but we generally don't have information about other electric easements that exist in other places.
okay, that makes sense.
So the Tallapoosa River lines are running parallel to the Alabama
Yes,
Power?
yes, yes.
Is that usually in the center of the easement?
So no, if you see the yellow part is the 100-feet Alabama power easement, and the 40-feet trek easement is on top of it. And going to this whole site plan, this is how it goes. The yellow is the Alabama, and the pink one is the trek easement.
So were the power lines in the air or in the ground?
In the air,
Okay.
but there are posts like on the top of it. So I think there are
Utilities are usually constructed in the center of the easements.
yeah. So these are the
Okay, this may be, I don't know if you have the answer. Is this a typical thing for us to have two utility company easements? Like, normally one utility company or a power company would service a neighborhood. Do we know that why there are two? Like, who provides the power?
No, I mean,
to this
just kind
neighborhood?
of easements end up where they end up, and I think kind of just with distribution lines and like overlapping utility authority places. I mean, things like this can happen. Uncommon, sure, but happens.
Because
So-
this is new.
Are there
The
any
Alabama,
plans
the
for the-
Alabama Power easement is a transmission easement. T-Rec has service for this area, so theirs is actually a distribution line.
There's a distribution line, okay.
Yes, and they purchase their power from Alabama Power.
Okay. Okay. Does anybody else have any questions for staff? Okay. Thank you. All right, at this time, I will open the floor for anyone who would like to make comments. And if you'll please sign in before you approach the podium.
Go ahead and sign as the applicant for the engineer on
Okay.
record. Does anybody have anything? Yeah.
Oh yeah, here you go.
Oh, okay, yes.
All right, thank you. My name's Matt Cobb, work for Flowers and White, applicant for the developer and engineer. Don't disagree with anything that was said today. There was a couple of constraints with the right-of-way, how we had to tie in. On the initial, if you can go, if it's okay, go back to even, even there. The right-of-way had a specific place we had to tie into right-of-way that was on Forest Cove, which gave us constraints based on where the easements were, where the right-of-ways were. If you go back to the adjacent property owner, they don't show the 40-foot track there, which would be really close to what was developed on that piece of property. I know that wasn't already shown by the city, but it's not shown on the hardship of lot 631 that's already there. So what we're looking to do is, we have 9 lots to develop, and what we're looking to do is move them 7 feet closer between me and here, right? Move them 7 feet closer to keep the same product on the ground as we move through. And as we move through the curvature, if you don't mind going to where you can see the left and the right. Right there. All right, so we've got the east and the west. The west on, uh-oh, did I ruin something by talking?
Just went to sleep.
You just went to sleep. We gotta start over. As long as I don't have to start over.
This is the one, right?
Yeah, so once we get past these lots, the front setbacks will go back to the 25-foot front setbacks. And on the left-hand side, which will be the west side, they would go back to the 25-foot full setbacks. So what we're trying to do is just keep the same product on the ground and keep it congruent as we go through. So, and being tied to these, the easements and where the right-of-way actually comes in from the east on Forest Cove, we had to, that's a constraint as well. So if y'all have any questions for me.
Did you say that again? The curved part is,
Yeah, so
is more of a setback than the,
no, so you're looking at, look at Exhibit 2B, and you have lot 46 through 50. And then once you hit the curve, it would go back to, as you're going from the east to the west, it would go back to a regular setback, the 25-foot setback. On 50 through 46, which was listed in the thing, and 107 through 104, we'd be taking 7 feet off of the front setback, sliding the property, the building front setback forward. But after it gets past that, it goes back to the regular 25. So this isn't an entirety of the development. It's just those 5 on one side and 4 on the other that we're looking to reduce that
Okay, can we look
makes
at,
sense.
that does make sense, and I think that's in our packet, that it's only just 9 lots, it's not the entire phase, but, can we look at exhibit 3B, because on lot 631, had those same constraints, and you were still able to build, but without needing a variance, so is there a reason why you were able to build a
That is, I don't believe that's ours. That's an adjacent property owner.
Okay. And then, do you know, that, this may not be in your
And it
purview,
doesn't show the easement on there as well.
do you happen to have a site plan available for these lots? Like what, you're just saying that what you're currently building now will not fit on these lots with the current constraints, with the easements, is what you're saying? Like you could build a smaller footprint of a home?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
You could definitely do it. It would just be not, these were gonna be a little bit larger houses, fitting on a certain footprint. And through this area right here, they would have to be restricted on size. But yes, there's always,
Okay.
I mean, you can build anything on a lot, right, if it's done, but we're just trying to get the congruency, keep it out of the easement. That's what
Okay.
we're trying to do, so. And it was only 7 feet. Like I said, it's between me and you, it's 7 feet. Through
But-
those 9 lots.
But the 40-foot easement wasn't known when this whole plat got approved, right?
no, the developer knew about it.
Yeah, I mean, the plat's been, I mean, it's been.
Yeah. So
It's been approved and it's been.
Yeah,
it's
so
been
the
processed.
so the MDP at the time of the MDP, the additional easement is not on there. But at the time of the final plat being recorded, the easement was both easements were known of, and so then I guess you were to go to the other side. I guess not the other side. I mean if you go to the actual easement, the name sign in it, the property owners. I guess this would have been the current. I want to say KJ's dad signed this.
God, honestly, I don't know.
Yeah. So if you read it, yeah, like it's the property owners that they granted it. So that's where we're at on it. I mean, it could have been accommodated for just kind of in the MVP process or just kind of the final plat, but that's
It's been recorded. Everything's
Yeah.
been recorded the same. So what we're asking for is for a variance for 9 lots, just to scoot the houses, just to give 7 feet. Which, as you're coming around the corners, where they would all line up. That's what we're asking for, so. Not the entirety of the project, just
Right.
these specific lots with the easements.
Okay. Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions? Okay, thank you, Matt.
If I could add just one thing concerning between lots 107 and 146 is property that's owned by another developer. It's actually noted on one of the plans, but the preserve was purchased by multiple developers, so someone else that has plans to build along that same street with those same easements.
Is that the part that's on this Exhibit 2A that's sort of not filled in?
Yes.
Okay.
You mean this gap right here? So this is gonna be developed through here?
That's correct.
Yes.
Another developer purchased that property.
And so that would be where we would look at the MDP, correct?
yeah. But I mean, I guess like the MDP just kind of don't really determine like it determines spacing and what can be built on lots, but really just kind of from like a singular use standpoint. So I mean, single family houses. So that's what's going to get built. It's a single family house.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, now we're ready to, is there anyone, now we're ready to open the public hearing. So if there's anyone who would like to speak on this variance. Okay, hearing none, we'll close the public hearing and we'll open for board discussion. I don't even know where to start with this one. Okay, so my comment would be we're trying to avoid incongruence on that, but it seems like we'd also create incongruence if some houses are moved up. I know 7 feet is not a large amount, but if you're going, whenever you're driving down a road, it does make a difference when you see houses bumped up and pushed further back. So that would be my comments on it. And the fact that we did know about the easement, I agree with staff. It is I do want to ask this question. Do we get any communications from anyone on this case? Did we receive any communication? Okay. You know, I think the lots are still buildable, and if we look at, you know, how we grant a variance, it's still permitted use, you know, we're just reducing the building envelope area, but it still allows for the reasonable use of the land.
Are there sidewalks in front of it, in front of the houses?
Yeah. So pretty much all the new developments, they'll have to have sidewalks. So yeah, that will happen.
If they're closer in the bend, is it gonna be like hard to see?
No.
One
No.
Or-
So sight distance won't be an issue on a local residential street like this. I think even if sight distance was a concern just from turning out or anything, there probably wouldn't be able to be houses on the street. So this is a local residential. That's not a concern at all.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time since they, you know, knew about that easement there, even if it was not on one plat, it was on the final plat, for this developer, and then also because the rest of that street shouldn't have any bearing on it, but it will be developed as well. And do we anticipate that they're gonna have probably the same issues when it comes to it? Is it just the bend in the street that's creating that, and that's what
No, I don't think so. I think kind of like the applicant mentioned, I think it's more just probably a preference just kind of for something that they want to do.
Yeah.
Like I said, we haven't had this request for other places in the easement. And I guess that they're currently working on it now. I said, if it were to come up, I doubt it.
Okay.
So
Any other comment?
Is the 7 feet, is that what the issue is? If it was 2 feet, would it be more acceptable?
So I would say from us, I mean, if it was something that was going to be an issue, they could have platted it differently. Like I said, so something like that. So let's say how the MDP works. The MDP is kind of the overarching guiding document for this development. There is leeway with the MDP. So it's from a use standpoint, everything's cool. Roads, everything's cool. As long as there isn't a major deviation. If you were going to sway the road to say, hey, I think we need to accommodate this easement here, kind of push these up a little further north, I think we can do that, make these lots to the north side of the smaller, to the west side of the smaller to accommodate this sway in the easements, then they could have done that. That wasn't done. So, like I said, I mean, there's a way to achieve this. I guess they'd have to like replat that, and I get it's not as easy as just saying it, but I mean, there was some forethought that could have been put in as far as like just replatting it and getting it done to accommodate the easements, even of the 7 feet. So.
Because whoever's developing in between these two sets of lots is going to have the same problem.
Yep.
And you're gonna have 9 houses pushed forward. If they don't have the same problem, they build a different product.
Smaller
they're pushed
house,
back.
yeah.
Okay, do we think we're ready to call for a vote? Okay. I will, because we were gonna do this, I will, make a motion to approve, BZ 2025.
BZ 2025
002.
There we go.
Sorry,
There we
sorry.
go.
Second.
Amy Sorrells,
No.
Marty Heffron,
Nope.
Mary Boyd,
No.
Charles Danbury Jr. Go to 4.
Okay. Or is there any other business?
No, just thanks for serving. We already know we will have a variance. We will have a BZA case for next month as well. So I'll see you guys. I know, man. I know. Yeah. No, we are rolling.
Okay.
So
Well, then I will, having no further business, I will adjourn this meeting.
thank you.